The ruler, the creator, the sage, the explorer. What do all these mean? Find out in today's episode. Listen now.
Hey, you're listening to Mystic Dummies. This is your host, Jennifer.
And this is Siona.
This podcast is where we bring our life experiences, have conversations, and shine a light upon everyday mysteries.
From mysteries of this world to the mysteries of ourselves, we talk about it all.
If you're looking for a sign, this is it. Tune in to Mystic Dummies every week, right here. Last week, we had a very interesting conversation about the collective unconscious.
Yes, and as promised today, we are going to talk about another mystical concept which is tied very closely to the collective unconscious. These are known as the archetypes.
Now, one may wonder, why do we even need to know about archetypes? You will be surprised to learn that archetypes are functioning everywhere at all times, even as we speak and as you listen. It is used by all the big brands that we know of, or even simply how one behaves in regular life.
Yes, that's absolutely true. It is important for you to know what archetypes are. Archetypes are identical psychic structures common to all, which are heritable and influenced by the way all humans experience the world. In simpler terms, it means that archetypes are certain character types, symbols, settings that recur along different points of time in stories, poetry, myths, rituals, which in a way suggests that it is the very embodiment of the essential elements of universal experience.
Damn dude, that sounds so interesting. So I read somewhere that archetypes are tools used in literature to represent common aspects of human nature and life in general. We often see archetypes used in all types of literature, from children's books to romance and fan fiction.
Dude, exactly. We live in a world of character archetypes. The collective mind has its given set of characters and roles loosely identified by clusters of traits. People categorize one another into neat little boxes so as to make better sense of this dynamic and changing experience. Even though humans are more complex than such archetypes allow, we generalize as a means to save mental energy.
Yeah.
Swiss psychotherapist Carl Jung, we spoke about him in the last episode.
Yeah.
Carl Jung used the word archetype to refer to the recurring patterns found in our universal stories. It was his belief that all human beings are guided by the same inner roadmap, and we make sense of our own lives through common set of beliefs and behaviors. He taught that these same patterns have been with us since the dawn of time. We know this is true because we see them reflected across history and cultures. We find them showing up in art, literature, myths, and religions.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I never really observed this, but now that I'm more aware, I'm able to identify the different kinds of archetypes and patterns that I have seen in everyday life. Carl Jung is the one who has spoken extensively about archetypes. He identified universal mythic character archetypes that reside in our collective unconscious. Jung defined 12 primary types that represent range of basic human motivations. Each of us tend to have one dominant archetype that dominates our personality. For you all to make sense of the concept of archetypes, we'll talk briefly about the 12 types of archetypes enlisted by Jung. The first one, the ruler. The ruler is a classic leader. They believe that they should be the one to bring order to any situation. This is one of the 12 Jungian archetypes related to power. The ruler, in their desire to impose their will on others, can easily become a tyrant.
The second is the creator. The creator has a profound desire for freedom because they love novelty. They love to transform things in order to make something completely new. The creator is clever, nonconformist, and self-sufficient. They're imaginative and good-humored. However, they can be also inconsistent and spend more time thinking than actually doing.
The sage. The sage is a free thinker. Their intellect and knowledge are their reason for living and their essence. They seek to understand the world and their being by using their intelligence and analytic skills. They also have a fact, a quote, or a logical argument on the tip of their tongue.
The innocent are blissful people whose main goal is to find and spread happiness. They are carefree and pure, almost as though they are in their own world. Their greatest strength is their ability to bring peace. When you see them, you feel as though you want to cuddle and protect them. As they say, however, ignorance can be a problem too. Your naivety means that you can be left trying to figure out what to do at your own expense. Just as you open the doors for discovery, so too do you open the way for disappointment.
The explorer. The explorer is a bold traveler. They set out without a clear path and are always open to novelty and adventure. The explorer has a deep love of discovering new places and new things about themselves. The downside of the explorer archetype is that they're always searching for perfection and they're never satisfied.
The rebel is a transgressor. They provoke people and don't care at all about other people's opinions. As a result, they are going against the grain and thinking for themselves. They don't like to be pressured or influenced. The negative side to the rebel archetype is that they can become self-destructive.
The hero. The hero is characterized by courage and motivation. It is the aspect of consciousness that compels you to face your fears regardless of how nervous or anxious you are. It is part of you that has to battle with the challenges you face in the world and indeed with your own weaknesses.
The magician. The magician is like a great revolutionary. They regenerate and renew not just for themselves, but for others as well. They're constantly growing and transforming. The negative side of the magician archetype is that their mood can be contagious. They sometimes turn positive events into negative ones.
The jester. The jester likes to laugh even at themselves. They don't wear any mask and tend to break down other people's walls. They never take themselves seriously because their goal is to enjoy life. The negative side of the jester is that they can be lewd, lazy, and greedy.
The everyman archetype excels at creating and forging connections with others. They have a friendly and inviting demeanor that is instantly likable. And the last one, the caregiver. The caregiver feels stronger than other people. Consequently, they offer maternal protection.
Martin.
Maternal protection. Oh my god. Okay, I'm so done. I'm so done. And the last one, the caregiver. The caregiver feels stronger than other people. Consequently, they offer maternal protection to those around them. They want to protect people from harm and try to prevent any danger or risk from threatening other people's happiness. In extreme cases, the caregiver turns into a martyr who constantly reminds everyone of their sacrifices.
So Carl Jung once said, from the unconscious there emanate determining influences, which is independent of tradition, guarantee in every single individual a similarity and even a sameness of experience, and also of the way it is represented imaginatively.
I get it, dude. I get it. But again, why are archetypes so fucking important to know about?
Exactly. So what I know is that the archetypes unite the human unconscious across cultures and continents, industries and markets. As proper working of body organs is useful for healthy working, so are the archetypes for a healthy mind. Like a story where we all know the plot, archetypes help us meet on the same page with a resounding, "Oh, I understand." Whether we identify with the hero, the explorer, or the innocent, knowing more about our archetypes and how they affect our life, it is an important step towards deeper self-awareness and understanding. When we are able to know our universal truth and express it in a language that others can comprehend, we become powerful forces of compassion and deeper connection.
Preach, dude. That is exactly what we want you all to know. Carl Jung once said, "Man possesses many things which he has never acquired, but has inherited from his ancestors." He is not born as a tabula rasa, which means a blank slate. He is merely born unconscious, but he brings with him systems that are organized and ready to function in a specifically human way. And these he owes to millions of years of human development. Man's task is to become conscious of the contents that press upward from the unconscious. As far as we can discuss the sole purpose of human existence, it is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being.
Absolutely. So that brings us to the end of our discussion on collective unconscious and archetypes.
And we hope you were able to gather something new today. If you want to read more about what we spoke about in this episode, you can find a few links in the description box. That's it from us. We're looking forward to see you next week, a new month and a brand new episode. So stay tuned. Until then, this was Siona.
And I, Jennifer.
Mystic Dummies signing off.